I mean, I was way behind on, like, unmuting us, so no one got Meteor Shawarma that time, at least. But now I've added in Meteor Shawarma, so we continue to talk about Meteor Shawarma.
Meteor Shawarma.
But is it Meteor or Meteor Shawarma? Or it's a Meteor Shawarma?
It's a Meteor Shawarma.
No, it's a really meaty shawarma that also has rocks in it.
Meaty meteors in my Meteor Shawarma.
Exactly. So you're all waiting around, and we're having a nice conversation.
He still hasn't told us what he thinks of me and Max.
Yeah. You two.
Yeah.
You're an interesting pair. I don't meet many people, I don't meet many people that aren't originating from my own personal community that have a longer lifespan and have encountered more of the world. Unfortunately, most humans tend to live, 70 years on some of them? And then they pass away, and most other races tend to be a little lower end on the race and the edge scale. No offense. He's actually gonna turn to the bird person next to him. He's just gonna stare. Very few races on the world live as long as we elves, and as I've said before, I'm particularly long-lived. My people, I'm still young and spry. I probably have a good number of 500 years on me, probably.
So you're middle-aged.
Probably be classified in the seniors club.
Dang,
Well,
get around for a senior.
I know. I'm much more spry than a normal elf my age. Let's put it that way.
It's all the lady friends.
Anyway, so he's gonna get back to his book and let things kind of sit for a while longer. As if all of you quiet down, you'll just enjoy sitting around for a little while before a kind of man, probably in his 20s, kind of looks a little squirrely, kind of like pointed face. He's got spectacles on. He's going to kind of go yes, hello, good of you to arrive. I'm supposed to take you to Mr. Vance. Vance. You've got your a proper meeting, and he's finished up his work and is ready to meet with you. Oh, I'm his assistant, scheduler, if you will, and I'm, at least when it comes to the business here, so, please, follow me.
I'll look to Nim and kind of gesture.
Nim will get up and follow the man.
And I will follow.
I'll follow.
I follow.
I'll push Terry in front of me and follow her.
There's a comedy routine with you two, I swear.
The angry-looking bird person will be even angry that you're getting picked first.
Who is this bird person?
You're just a bird person.
He's just a bird guy. He's just been sitting there. Well, technically you probably can't tell gender because bird, but you know.
You mean you can't tell by the beak or something?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking. I don't speak bird.
Was he perching there?
No.
What was the coloration on the feather?
All white.
That doesn't narrow it down.
Is there a nature check for this kind of thing?
You could sex the bird person.
Don't
Well, that's why I asked for the
do that
coloration.
to that poor bird person. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Excuse me, I just want to check your cloaca.
That's not going to tell you as much as you think. So, bird sex aside, let's keep following this man.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's progress the story.
Bird sex aside. That's That's quite a statement. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. He'll follow the man. He'll lead you up through the building to a like an elevator of sorts. He'll hit a button. It will take you up to the top floor. It's probably not as smooth as elevators that we would know, so it's probably got some kind of mechanism in the basement or something. It might be like steam powered or something, or you know.
Bless you.
But relatively speaking, it gets you up the floors. Probably a lot easier than walking. Probably as quick as maybe as slightly faster than walking, just slightly. You know, but it's still impressive. You'll be taken to a large office, which has a very nice kind of like window, kind of arching the back of it, that seems to overlook parts of the city. You can see that there's a collection of all kinds of objects kind of on display here. They seem to be from various places throughout Dominaria. Some of them are very recognizable. There's like a small statuette that seems to be of an angelic figure. May I note that Radiant stayed back at the hotel, just because you know I haven't been including her, in case anybody is remembering. She just
I miss her. She's like my favorite NPC.
I know.
I figured that'd be the.
Mm-hmm.
Nim was my favorite NPC.
Nim is a real goober.
But it's like a
Almost
small.
Flash.
It looks like a small statuette that someone from Benalia, like the Church of Sarah, would probably use. There's a couple of other items, like a. You see what these look like a ritualistic mask from somewhere. It's an interesting collection of things from lots of cultures. Many of them are just small trinkets and knickknacks, and none of them seem to be particularly of any kind of value. You'll see a kind of a middle-aged man, probably maybe in his early to late 40s, I would say he's actually. Kind of mostly well-maintained kind of beard, kind of just a little bit of like scruff to it, as if it's maybe like probably like has like a cutting or something soon, but just hasn't gotten to it, kind of too busy. Full mustache, same way. Short black hair. He actually is wearing like a kind of very simple like kind of suit that you'd have for merchants in this time kind of frame, in this world setting. I can't think of a good way of describing a suit for merchants in Magic off the top of my head.
It's probably like a nice doublet.
Yeah. You can see that, like, he seems to be actually changing out of part of the doublet and stuff, and has, like, these kind of sets of robes and stuff, and, like, he seems to be assembling things. He's talking to these number of women. One of them's giving him, like, a, probably what effectively is, like, a clipboard. It's really just a board with a piece of paper on it, you know, with, like, some writing and stuff. It's not really, like, you know, it doesn't have, like, the kind of clipping thing on it, as we would have. It's just like, you know, a board with a paper.
Something they could write on.
Something you can write on, basically. As he kind of, like, looks over some stuff, signs it, and gets back to it. He's assembling a number of books, which then he's kind of, like, tying together. He's changing into the robes and removing, like, parts of his outer doublet and stuff. And then, Nim, good to see you. Yes, you said you had a meeting with me. Everybody out. We'll take care of this next time. Let me finish getting myself around here. So what kind of business do you folks have with me? Yes. Well, I know you're a little busy with teaching a few classes and probably going to do some of your research, but we have, possible use for something that you have. Your submersible craft? Why would you be going underwater? What need do you have? There isn't usually much need for underwater exploration. Traditionally, you just hire a few merfolk and have them take care of it for you. Yes, but that's the thing, is we're heading to Voda. Voda. He's actually gonna kind of like stop. He's actually like gonna like stop putting on his outfit for a second and kind of turn towards you. That's an odd place to be heading to. What's the point? What do you need to go to? Well, we need permission to travel within their domains and to get some information from them. And I had hoped to possibly stop by. He's, the old ruins, Tolaria of the Depths. That seems like a job that would require more than just contact with merfolk. I'm not sure that I could depart from my vocation for long enough to accompany you there. And there's very few that I would allow to use my craft alone.
What about a fellow merchant?
Oh. So, Nim, you take stock of merchants much more than you did. I thought you only took stock of wizards and spellcasters most of the time. So, merchant, what's your name?
My name is Maxwell, the traveling merchant.
A traveler, you say? I have respect for your type. Traveling to places, doing business where you go. I personally prefer here, where I can run my business from home. Though, of course, most of the day-to-day is not done by me. But when
Sometimes I wish I could have more of a stationary life in terms of merchantry. Although it is nice to be able to travel and see all the different sites of the world. There's something about me that longs to be able to have a home base, so to speak.
Well, Maxwell, if you prove yourself any good, there would always be a permission within the company, I'm sure. There's always a need for decent merchants.
I smile underneath my mask.
Which probably just be really creepy. Maybe? Because you have no lips.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, it's like barely visible.
Aren't you kind of always smiling?
He is kind of always smiling.
Yeah.
Look.
What was the name of this NPC?
He is Irun Venice.
Okay, Venice. Cool.
Yeah, Mr. Venice. Irun.
Sweet.
Let's go to the academy. As I said, I have a class to teach. Follow me. We can talk and walk.
What is your class on? What do you teach?
Has Nim told you my specialty?
Shadow illusory magic, yes?
Yes. I can manipulate shadows to create semi-realistic illusions. The shadows themselves have a sort of hardness to them.
Have you ever heard of a type of shadow magic that would let you meld into shadows?
Of course, there's many types of shadow magic. Mine is just a offshoot of some of the other types of shadow magic. Even my own magic that I would talk about was not mine originally. My teacher at Orvada campus is the one that taught me everything I know. And I believe he originally came from the Shadow Academy.
The Shadow Academy? I'm not sure I've heard of it.
The Shadow Academy is a very interesting location. It's a campus of the Tolarian Academy that you can't find unless it wants you, well, either someone from there or it itself wants you to find it.
Interesting.
Might have to add that to possible... Well, I would say add it to travel destination, but that's not up.
You could probably easily get permission or some way in from one of the other campuses, but I know from my campus personally, I don't believe there's many folks currently there that would be willing to assist in a way and allow you through.
What made you want to pursue this school of magic?
interesting question, my merchant friend. An interesting question. It happens to be that I decided to go to the academy early on. I wasn't originally intending to inherit the business. My younger brother was going to. Unfortunately, he passed away. And with the nature of our family, unfortunately, we could only have male heirs take over. On paper, at least. That's why my signature is often needed for many things, because I'm still the owner on paper, even though my dear sister does run things day to day. Changing the rules of the family in our little part of the empire is very difficult, and a lot of us are not the only members of the family. We are only the current heads of the family. Very easily we could get ourselves into trouble if we change things with some of the branch families and find ourselves out and them in power.
See. Sounds like there's a lot of bureaucracy involved in this.
Each family has their own bureaucracy. The main families of Orvada. Each runs it their own way. One of the merchant families, in fact, has a different family take over every time. They name a family of successors every generation, and has that family rule over it until whoever's in the patriarch or matriarch, in that case of that family, passes away. Then a new family is chosen. They don't choose from their own bloodline, but from one of the groups that they successed. And that way these groups of families almost run over the business. It's a very interesting method for them.
As an outsider, it seems a little bit complicated from my perspective, but I can see it working.
Each of the 12 companies is very powerful and has been one of the major factions of shipping across all of Dominaria. If you want to go to an edge of the Dominaria and not have some shipping from somewhere from Orvada, you're probably nowhere.
Interesting.
Yes. Not that I couldn't travel to some of these places. As you mentioned, Tolaria of the Depths, I could arrange travel to there on my own very easily. But I'm assuming that you need travel there to Voda and there, because you would not have permission if otherwise.
Yes, but essentially that is the case at 5%.
I believe, Nim, that, well, you currently, well, have, you're not allowed into Tolaria West, I believe it is? Did, an old friend of yours disbelieve, make sure that you couldn't go there again? Yes.
This is new information.
What did you do this time, Nim?
Apologies. An old friend of mine, another very long-lived man. Well, some time ago we got into slight bits of, arguments, and he didn't want for me to return.
Did you sleep with someone?
Ooh.
Perhaps we should stop in blah, blah, what's the word?
Blah, blah.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Accusing our employer of sleeping with everyone.
It's a fair question.
But he does.
Well, you see, I did kind of steal his girlfriend at the time. Now, granted, we only dated for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, only a couple of years.
Look, she's doing great things now. We're still friends. I believe she was involved with the toppling of the Cabal's leader. I heard stories about that or something. But no, she's a very nice lady. If we ever meet her, I'll introduce you.
Yeah, may I ask you something?
What?
Did you sleep with any mer people that we need to know about ahead of time?
No, don't be ridiculous.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're physically incompatible.
You said that about the dragon.
Exactly.
Okay, did you try to steal the affections of any mer people?
Oh no. And I did not steal the affections of a dragon. We were companions.
Sure.
Look, I can keep you and take you to the locations you need to do. Nim. Or arrange for someone to do it for me. I do have a few folks that wouldn't be... I wouldn't be against them using my vehicle for me. I don't know if I have the scheduling to go with you, though. Well, why don't... you've been walking and talking the entire time, let me know. Like, going through the city at this point in time, towards the edge of it.
Long walk.
It is a long walk. It is on the outskirts of the city, is the academy.
Ah.
I'll consider whether or not I can take you. But if I'm taking you, there would have to be a reason for me to take you. Beyond the fact that I probably could go to Tolaria the Depths and get a little bit of research done while I'm there. At another campus, I've gone to the other campuses occasionally for needs for such things, but I currently had no deep need.
Nim, is there something you wanted to speak to him about with this?
Oh, not particular. What do you mean? Oh, yes. Well, if we should go to the Tolarian Empire, I do have some connections with the current ruling family. I could perhaps arrange for some extra trade with the medallions.
That would be a good business opportunity, at the very least.
I agree.
Interesting. Mihai II has been always difficult to get a hold of when it comes to trade directly with the Empire. We've been at good relations with them when it's come to travel, but... Otherwise, yes, it's not always the easiest to deal with them. And an inn wouldn't be too bad if it would actually work. Well, it should be fine. I mean, again, I've communicated with them before, and it's merely just a need of having them in contact with you, sort of connections together.
I mean, at the very least, we can call it a fun business trip.
Well,
Plus,
this
I'm being
business
almost
have
our
slashing and dashing.
Does someone want to roll persuasion?
let's have our bard do it, probably.
What about
Or I'll
Claud?
do it.
Isn't he the most persuasive? Or maybe I am now. I'll do it.
What's y'all's
Dude.
persuasion?
I could assist
You're the
you,
one
maybe.
who's talked to him the most. Lee.
All right, I'll do it. You could assist me, right?
Could I assist him?
I mean, he could.
I will try to assist.
All right, so persuasion. Let me roll that. Ooh, it's so good. Let's
Let me
see.
roll to see if I can assist. Sure. Yep.
Thank God for advantage.
Yep.
I correct you in a few words you try to say.
You stumbled over the pronunciation of the name of the empire.
Yeah.
Stop trying to read his mind.
Don't read his mind. Don't read his mind. Don't read his
Would
mind.
never dream of that. I'm definitely over that habit.
You're just like looking at them, and you're like, I kind of want to read his mind.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I just see that look in your eye socket,
Everyone's just staring at you, going.
and I'm just like,
But I want to. Or what am I doing? Am I like asking him something?
Yeah, you're trying to convince him to take you down below the water.
Good sir, I'm sure you can assist us in our quest for traveling under the sea.
that's it.
Well, remember, you corrected me.
Your company would be most welcome, and I'm sure it will help your business. I mean, you and Maxwell together might make a great team to strike a bargain.
Possibilities are endless.
Interesting. Well, how about this? Let's settle down in the academy and we can discuss this.
Sounds like a plan, good sir.
May we also ask a small favor? Our friend here would very much like to have a chance to look at the library. Maybe while you are doing your duties, we may have access?
Use the library. I don't think I can necessarily give such a permission very easily. The library is for use by students, and you are not a student. Though...
We could be. How many credit hours do we need to be considered students?
How quickly can we complete these hours?
I could TA.
TA?
Do you know about student hours, Cassie? Did you go to Goblin College?
No, there's no such thing. I've
You
looked
went to
into
boat
college.
school, didn't you?
He went to the School of Hard Knocks.
Very hard.
So a trade school.
Yes, a trade school. That is accurate.
No, a train school.
No, it's a school on a train.
It's a train school. Yes, there you go.
Fuck that. Fuck trade.
You can't say
He's a
fuck
boat
trains,
man.
fuck horses, and fuck bananas.
No, I'm fine with horses now. I've moved on my rage from horses. It's directed at bananas now. But fuck trade.
What's wrong with bananas?
What about a banana that's on a train?
Worse. Bananas are morally repugnant.
What if it's a banana on a train inside the stomach of a horse?
You're making shit
Why
up
is the
now.
train in the horse? Shouldn't the horse be on the train?
What if it's a horse on a
Yeah.
train eating a banana?
I'm sorry,
I will
Candace.
not
I'm
explain my unreasonable rage at nouns.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Okay. Anyway. Alright.
Just the adventurers start getting into an argument.
Is there something we could do for you that you might need done that we could may possibly trade for some access for a short time in the library?
Well, I'm sure you'll be returning here. If you are quite successful on your journeys, I believe you might be able to access some of the library at Tolaria the Depths. I believe they do have a small public section, just because they respect if you manage to get there in the first place.
Understandable.
I look at Carrie.
Books.
The,
Waterlogged books is all.
well,
You can treat the paper with wax and it won't get waterlogged.
also, much of it's not technically... It's under the water, but not in the water. It has very nice
Waterlogged
ruins of
books.
the original Tolarian Academy. The one back before the Phyrexian invasion when it was destroyed. Apparently the ruins sunk to the bottom of the water, and, well, when the island was pretty much destroyed, and, the Tolaria of the Depths has, got a nice view of the ruins, if you want to see them.
Interesting.
That's nice. Sounds interesting.
Anyway. He'll take you into, what appears to be his office at the Academy. It's pretty, like, the Academy itself is best described as some kind of castle when you kind of look at it. It's built kind of onto a bluff, kind of raising up over the water, seemingly designed in a way that looks like it would be very difficult not only to attack it, but it looks like it stays up somehow. You know, it doesn't look like it should stay up just from the nature and building of it. Very interestingly. But nonetheless,
It's top heavy.
yes. It's a number of towers, kind of in a, it looks almost circular, but when you kind of, like, study it more, you're like, no, it's maybe, like, actually hexagonal. In a way, it's like a hexagonal thing of towers around a central tower, which the central tower is actually a little shorter, but it's larger. It's like twice the width, but like a good couple of floors shorter.
Good sir, is this an academy or a fortress?
Both. A leftover from, well, the Tolarian Academy was one of the proprietors that led through both the Phyrexian invasion. The Academy itself suffered many attacks by Phyrexians, and our original founders were a number of the major forces that helped lead the attack. The skyship Weatherlight, which was known for being the ship which led and channeled the energy of the Null Moon to defeat the Phyrexians, in fact was designed at a Tolarian Academy, the original one.
That squeeze ship.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's unfortunately the Academy, the original one, which, if you do go to the depths, you'll see the ruins of, fell a number of times. We're now rebuilt by wizards that learned at the original academies, rebuilt these various places. Tolaria West was the original one, and the rest of them have popped up over the years, since the mending, and since the invasion itself.
How many campuses are there?
Currently there are 5, but there are talks of building a few new ones.
Interesting.
We'll go on a tour of them all one day. Or, yeah.
Well, I'm fortunate that I managed to stay out of most of the politics of it. The academies themselves tend to have groups within them that believe as some of our original founders. The Urzans, Baronites, and Rayans. Each of them has their own kind of philosophical worldviews on how to manipulate magic and increase the abilities of the academies and the worlds themselves. And though they get along and have their own kind of ways of looking at things, oftentimes, unfortunately, between the 3 of them, there can be tensions.
Mage politics sounds like a horrible thing to witness.
Yes, and I personally don't join any of the general societies. There are some other societies out there, but most of them are more minor.
It's a sad day when those who practice the arcane arts can't get along.
Oh, but they still get along fairly well. I mean, I'm sure there's other groups that get along less with others. Just some of the minor factions might have large disagreements.
Competition keeps you
They're
sharp.
they're like brothers who have to stick around each other, but still.
There's a couple of groups I've heard rumors about, which I don't know how much there's truth to them, but they seem a little bit more dangerous and radical, as most places have dangerous and radical individuals. The Dracovin Empire has folks that has a number of a few of the families which tend to take on a very militaristic role within the merchant empire, so to say. Dealing with
Ignore
weapons.
my previous statement.
My family, personally, and my company, we don't deal directly with weapons. Now, granted,
I guess someone has to sell them.
well, granted, if it's simple weapons and armor that are being supplied to companies or places in times of peace, we have nothing against that. But there are certain families amongst the 12 that would be willing to sell to places in time of war. Fortunately, there haven't been any major wars in the last century or two. Most places have been generally at peace, especially since the Keldons have calmed down, seemingly.
The who?
The Keldon barbarians, scourge
Oh.
of many places. And especially now since the Cabal has finally fallen out. When they were at the height of their power a few years ago, it was a thing to worry about. But in the last couple of years, last couple of years with them losing their... something happened to them, and they've been in a disarray since. Means that those of us that were worried about their influence around the world are less worried.
I just get kind of side-eye carried.
I guess the Cabal.
We ran into them once or twice.
Shame. You'd think that they would have learned and gone away forever at this point in time, but no.
Where would they have gone away to?
I implied just rolling into a alley
Ditch?
or ditch and dying.
The Cabal were Carrion's race, right?
No,
No.
they are people.
They're a cult.
They are a cult of
Oh, they were the cultists, okay.
yeah, they are a cult of demon worshippers. Who have like a greater demon who is Carrie's grandfather leading them.
That's gotta be bad for business.
Yes, the greater demon is supposedly dead though.
That's good.
Supposedly.
But they want to bring her back.
Theoretically, it has no current physical form, but greater demons, you don't know if, like, maybe there's a way to resurrect them. Certainly, it sounds like some of the
Summon
cultists
them
think...
again?
Yeah, to reforge them, summon them, something rather. Certainly the cultists think there's a way.
Demon spirits.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
Yes.
Normal ghosts are bad enough. I ain't busting no demon ghosts.
Who you gonna
I
call?
ain't busting no demon ghost.
Demon Busters.
Demon
Exorcist.
Ghostbusters. Do 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 do.
That'd be an exorcist. Exorcists are next level Ghostbusters.
That's
John
true.
Constantine.
Yeah, you need
Alright.
John Constantine. That sounds like a probably good plan.
Yeah, that would go great.
Who you gonna call? John Constantine.
It's gonna go awful, but it'll be funny. Anyway.
So what shall we do while you're in class?
Can we sit in on the lecture if we want?
Yeah, can we sit in?
No, I don't think you can sit on my lecture. I could arrange for a simple class for you to sit in on. Let me see here. What's going on around now?
Do you have anything on artificing of various kinds?
Oh, give me a second here, folks. I'm going to mute the stream. You people will hear this, but I'm muting the stream.
Oh.
I think he just called us simpleton. Also, the most dangerous cabal of all, Comcast.
Oh.
I probably wasn't needed a call for that, but, you know, it works fine. It's just something that, you know, they need that I could have, when I was going down in water on break, they could have asked me about. But, yes. Anyway. Well, we do have some practical classes. Just because science is more than temporal mechanics, genetics, and artifice.
I specialize in artifice, though.
Here's a class you probably could sit in on, and I could arrange for it, too. It's called Seaweed. My friend and yours.
Oh.
Sounds riveting. Absolutely riveting.
I'm gonna be upfront with you. That sounds fucking terrible.
Look,
I'll go.
Agriculture and aquaculture are two major branches that have been started out, and ours being a very traveling based and around where granted, the head of the aquaculture group is probably at Tolaria, the depths, but we have a small branch here, and there is a class going on this evening for it.
Great. I have little care for seaweed.
It's how to use magic to help grow it underwater.
I am an artificer. I work with mechanical magic.
Just come, Kazan. It's cool. Come on, let's go.
Maybe you can mechanically harvest the seaweed.
I would rather just sit outside and not do anything rather than go see seaweed.
You can sleep.
I could probably arrange for you to wait in the cafeteria. Student cafeteria.
That sounds better.
Now that could be a plan. What are they serving? Good.
Seafood.
I'm not sure what they're
It's
serving.
Seaweed.
Do we have
Salted
to pay?
and dried seaweed.
Most students, the food is paid for, so if I'm allowing you to use the cafeteria, feel free to enjoy.
I will.
I could probably arrange for some meal tickets just so they know since you're not students. And won't have proper ID.
Yes, and you don't have many goblin students, do you?
We actually do have a few.
Really?
Yes.
Very surprising. There's not many goblins that seem to care for academic.
Did you think you were special, Kazan?
I mean, I've met a lot of goblins. Not many of them are academic.
Well, Madame Ottaz is in fact one of our premier pyromancers.
Yeah, that tracks.
What flavor of pie does she romance?
What?
He's not a smart one, is he?
No.
No, I think
It's
only
the
his mouth is smart. He only has a smart mouth. And he's a smart mouth.
Is that like romancing the stone?
It's exactly that.
And I think we do have a student who has taken a fine look at agriculture, actually. A goblin student, I believe his name is, Brog? Brog, in fact, apparently wants to bring new forms of agriculture to Shiv. Shiv's not necessarily known for its farming, so, I mean, more power to him if he wants to use magic to farm on Shiv.
You could probably meet him in the seaweed lesson. Come on, Kaz, let's go.
He's in the agriculture course, not the aquaculture courses. Thank you very much.
I couldn't.
Different forms of botany.
I'll botany you into this bottle.
Dang.
He's just a goblin in this bottle, baby.
If you really are bored with that, there's one other opportunity, but I'm pretty sure none of you would understand a word of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, try us.
All right, then. I'll ask a friend if he'd be willing to have you sit in on it. He'll go off. He'll come back in a little while and say, well, a friend of mine said that it would be fine if you wished to sit in on class. It's a guest lecturer from Tolaria West.
What's the
Language, so
lecture
to
on?
speak.
Advanced manipulation of the time stream in order to gain access to working faster.
Yes!
And more
That sounds
efficiency.
interesting.
That's
I
a
think-
language?
No! That's
Advanced.
topic.
He's advanced temporal mechanics, basically.
Oh, okay.
I am interested. I am very interested.
That's way more interesting than seaweed.
Oh yeah. God.
Technomancy.
Time magic was used a lot of times with the Tolarian Academy. There were, in fact, that's one of the reasons that the Tolarian Academy was the source of a time rift. Because, yes. Also, the first academy was destroyed by someone sabotaged a time machine.
That's good.
But also, to work faster. So it sounds like advanced haste 101.
It's basically like, manipulating your own personal time stream to efficiently work better.
It's haste. How to cast haste.
Uh-huh. It's a little bit more than that, but anyway. All of you who want to go to that class, please just roll intelligence. And we'll see how well you go.
Oh, this will go well.
I'm kind of hoping that Claud translates some stuff that I
What's
just.
wrong with my day? My rolls feel about as good as I do.
You said intelligence? Oh no!
All right, that was a save.
Well,
but I think it's the same
Of course,
bonus.
Kazran gets
Oh,
it.
a save.
No, I didn't say save, but Lee rolled a save, but that's fine.
Oh,
I think he gets the same
it's
bonus.
the same exact bonus. Yeah, Carrie,
Same as me.
Wintress, the two of you, you have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Carrion, do you speak their language? It sounds like common, but it doesn't sound like common.
Listen, time magic, not my area of expertise. My area of expertise is history.
Hey, Max.
I-
Go 10,
Yeah.
buddies.
Wait, what?
Max,
Go
Claude,
10, buddy.
the two of you,
Oh.
you still don't understand a thing that you're being heard about, but there's like little parts of it that occasionally are like, oh, you pick up for a second and then you lose it completely.
I think I heard that.
Kazran, you miss a lot of it yourself, but you at least generally understand a little bit about what they're talking about.
Sure.
It's a form of magic that you have never heard about. Apparently they talk about using artifice for this. They do go over the fact that, apparently there are basic rules to using time magic that are now in place with Tolarian wizards. Not that people couldn't do it, but the direct construction of a time machine is in fact outlawed. Especially after the temporal disaster. Not only that, research during those lines tends not to be used. But creating, temporal bubbles that would manipulate and speed up, slow down time in an area, that's within purview of stuff that can be done. And they basically today's class was talking about creating bubbles that within it the time frame would be sped up. In fact, that you could basically be in an area where you could get done a lot more, exit out, and it would be not as much time passed in the outside world. But they also then run the implications of using temporal magic, could result in aging quicker, too.
I think he just called our mother a dumb Carrie.
So it's an interesting class that think you picked up a little bit on it? You're not sure?
I feel like if I had taken an introductory class first instead of the advanced course, it would have made more sense.
Oh, certainly. I mean,
I kind of look at everyone in sorry.
I was gonna say, I love literally that, like, when you talk about, like, what this place teaches, it's artifice, like, general magic, temporal mechanics, and genetics are on the docket. People use magic to manipulate genetics from Tolaria.
That's like some Simic shit.
Yes.
I don't want to be in on that class.
It's not so much anymore. But, one of the founders, Urza, he bred a group of soldiers in order to fight the Phyrexians.
It's like that.
He also basically manipulated the... which not known by people, I'm going to say. He actually manipulated bloodlines to create the heroes that led the Weatherlight crew. He basically selectively bred people.
Wow. He makes Squee?
I don't know about Squee, because Squee is a cabin boy, like the ones that were in charge.
He wasn't the hero.
He was a hero. He became a hero by accident. Because
he genetically manipulated Squee. Come on.
He was captured, experimented on, accidentally made into an immortal, killed like a couple thousand times, and then when an attack happened on the place he was captured, he escaped and accidentally basically killed the leaders of arranged for the leaders of those that captured him to get killed. He blew one up with a machine and basically like left the other one open, like a death blow.
He's great.
Yeah, Squeed's great. Squeed's awesome. Anyway, we're going to take our other break so I can go take care of that other stuff. And then we'll be back for the last bit here, where they're going to finish Arrange getting a submersible. Probably. Now that they've enjoyed the goddamn frickin'...
Look, you just have to understand the basic concept of manipulating your own time stream, possibly through Tachyon. I mean, it's always fucking Tachyons. You just gotta know how to fucking do time shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking time shit.
Yep.
And go 88 miles an hour.
Yeah. The Urzians are systematic and cynical. They focus on artifice, temporal mechanics, and genetics. The Baronites are humane and ethical, focusing on sorcery, temporal mechanics, and administration. And the Reigns focus on improvements of artifacts and recruitment for the Academy.
And temporal academy and manipulation.
Look, only 2 groups focus on temporal mechanics. 2 groups of them! Of their 3 main lineages of the Academy. Why do they have 2 groups of temporal mechanics? I don't know. Because they love dicking with time, and it's a really bad idea. But they still do it.
That's why the entire world almost died.
They are not technically at fault for it. They are partially at fault for it because one of the time rifts was created on the ruins of their original Academy.
Their fault.
Hate when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when a time rift just forms in my bedroom.
And its hardest appears.
But let's go for that break, guys.
Let's go for that break. Be back in a little bit then, folks.